So this episode is gonna be about Tim Ferriss and stem cells, which is something different this time. And with that being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. And this is actually the first episode that I'm recording today, and I'm actually recording it also to an HDD, an external one. So that I do not have any fucking problems with actually having two less storage on my fucking PC, and then the fucking kind of recording breaks down, which is not something nice. It's really not something nice. But this time also I am recording again, not in MP4 but in MOV or movie or whatsoever, which is actually I think from Apple actually, and it works for me. Like maybe a lot of people don't use it because it's MOV and or MOV or movie or whatever it actually is, I don't know. But for me it has always been working, it has always worked for me, and some people might just, I think the files are actually a little bit bigger. This is something that I'm a little feared of actually. But this is not the topic of this video. But we are going ahead with, I hope by the way that everything there is working. Where is it? Where is this zine? Is it this? Yeah, it is this. But I think it is actually a little bit better than just the normal setup like this. I should actually do this beforehand, like not always in the episode, I guess. This was the old kind of way to record, and I guess I'm just, I think I'm gonna just mix it up a little bit. The good thing about this here is that I could just, only take me, but I think I'm also able to do it like this. Maybe even better, because you can see me completely, and I could only frame this certain kind of little screen there. Could be working. I know, actually it is great like this. It is pretty great like this. So interesting health practices to consider. And the first one is stem cells. And I do believe that I'm really not educated in this space. I really don't know any fucking shit about it. But I believe that the whole stem cell kind of thing could be very important and could be pretty nice and could be just, valuable to humanity, I guess. But let's actually see what Tim Ferriss is talking about here. So stem cell banking save your extracted teeth, which contain mesenchymal stem cells and can regenerate tissue like bone, cartilage, and motor neurons, which is just amazing. Like synthesizing, I think also a heart got synthesized through stem cells, I guess. I actually don't know. I'm only assuming. But this is just amazing, isn't it? Like, we are able to kind of actually make fucking organs out of some cells. It's just amazing. It's really just amazing. Especially because I guess if you're actually producing some organs out of your own stem cells, if that's possible, because I think sometimes it's not possible, for example, if we have cancer, I guess, because then everything would be just kind of infected, quote unquote infected by the cancer. If you're just doing this, I at least guess, I actually don't know. But I think it's just amazing, that you are actually able to just make your own organs. And most of the time you can actually keep them because, as you might know, there are often quite some problems when you're just getting an organ from somebody else. If you're just in need of a kidney actually, or a heart actually, or lungs, or whatever you're in need of, I think often the problem is that you just need an organ that is fitting your body quite, because often it is the case that your body just will not accept it, your body just tries to actually destroy it, to actually get it away from you, because your body thinks like, okay, this is something bad, even though it isn't, and this is then a little fucked up, but I guess this is what it is actually. This is really what it is. I'm just seeing that I'm a little bit dark. And I hope that the recording is okay and everything is right with the recording. I guess it's even better that I'm recording to the HDD, because then I do not have any problems with space on my PC and everything is hopefully a little smoother. a little smoother. Yeah, but let's read along. Hyperthermic is actually hyperthermic conditioning. Heat exposure, like from sauna, increases growth hormone levels and endurance. That's just pretty fucking great. 2 15-minute dry heat sessions at 100 degrees Celsius, which, by the way, is 212 degrees Fahrenheit, for those people that are not in the metric system. So 100 degrees Celsius separated by 30 minutes of cooling increases your growth hormone 5-fold and lasts for a couple of hours, which is, I guess, incredibly great for those who are actually in the whole bodybuilding space, or just, I think also just for every athlete actually, you know. And I'm just thinking, if hyperthermic conditioning, if this only means heat and not also kind of cold exposure, because cold exposure, as you might know, is actually something that a lot of athletes are doing, and a lot of people in general are doing. For example, I'm doing it myself to some degree, not completely. I'm not really doing it like an athlete, where those just actually take, well, not only ice baths, but I've actually forgotten the name, unfortunately, but this is just a really big machine where, is it dried ice? Is it called like this? Or fluid? Well, it's just, the coldest fluid there is on the fucking planet. They pull it into this kind of big bucket you're standing in, and it is fucking cold. It's really fucking cold, but it helps you to regenerate and, yeah, to just feel good again afterwards. The next one is, I think, something that's the most controversial thing in the whole dieting thing. Yeah, I think in the whole dieting space, it's the most kind of discussed and most discussed thing, I guess. It's the keto diet and ketosis and whatsoever. So Tim Ferriss feels mental clarity at 1 mmol beta hydroxybutyrate. I don't fucking know what this is. Ketones have anti-catabolic and anti-inflammatory effects. But I don't know what ketones are. This is the whole problem there. I might just... I'm just thinking whether I should actually look, certain things up, like the hyperthermic conditioning, to actually see if it is only heat or not, and ketosis. Because ketosis is something that's so incredibly kind of discussed and so incredibly kind of... talked about, that I just feel like I need to know what it actually is. And you could also contribute from this, on the other hand. But yeah, let's move on for a bit. I think this section isn't as... Well, it is actually, fortunately, pretty long. And it might also be the last one. Yeah, it is actually the last one. Today we actually are able to finish this one for... Yeah. We're actually able to finish this one. It's amazing. It has been just a really, really long time here, sitting here, just going through this whole summary, but it was a great one, and I'm really thinking about what I should just go through the next time. It's always the worst thing about finishing something, that I actually have to, make up my mind for, what I'm going to go through afterwards. But yeah, therapeutic fasts. I think fasting is actually a pretty good thing, and I've been also thinking about it. I also thought that I might be doing it myself, but I'm not quite sure. It's I guess, yeah. Let's see. I think I would have a little problem, because I think normally you're not doing it when you're just when you do not have to learn something, or you do not have to just do something that's incredibly just energy taking, or energy kind of or resourceful. But yeah, therapeutic fasts. Fasting 1 to 3 times per year can starve pre-cancerous cells, slow rapidly dividing cells, and make cancer selectively vulnerable to chemo. 5 days fasts, 2 2 to 3 times a year can reboot immune system via stem cells. Dominic D'Agostino goes as far as to suggest that in late-stage cancer he would skip chemo and use ketogenic diet as the base therapy. Unclear how proven this is. Definitely it is. And, I do think that with the whole kind of cancer story, I kind of feel like, and this might be just some theory or something, but I guess, there just must be something you can actually do against it, and I do not really know, I'm really not quite sure if chemo is actually the only thing you can do, because I kind of feel like it's not, unfortunately, because such a lot of people are dying from cancer. I do also have to say, we do just have to look at how we are living, in which kind of environment we are living, what shit we are eating all the fucking time, what we are consuming, what we actually put into our fucking body. Sometimes I'm feeling like it's quite, it makes sense that such a lot of people die from it, because, not so many people actually kind of, take care of them properly, even though on the other hand, I think there must be a lot of athletes that actually also have problems with cancer or had problems with cancer, and this is then really just sad. Like, I think this is one of the things that just could hit everyone, and I really hope it will just hit nobody, and I really hope that there is going to be something that you can do against it besides chemo, because chemo is not always kind of the solution. And it just fucks your whole body. It really fucks your whole body. Not only the cancer, it just attacks everything that is in your body. You're gonna just feel so fucking weak. It's just amazing. Like, it's just insane. It's fucking insane. It's really fucked up. And, this is also one of the reasons why I think that I'm just really grateful, and I should really show more gratitude towards me being healthy. Because it's something that's amazing. I'm living in a fucking first world country. I'm just, most of the time I'm happy. Yesterday I actually wasn't, and I'm healthy. I do not have any fucking illnesses that are incurable, if this is actually the right word, I don't know. And I'm really fucking happy, that I'm just also able to sit here, do the shit, feel happy about what I'm doing every single day, most of the time, and so on, And in terms of the whole fucking happiness, I guess we all should be way more happier than we actually are, only based on just where we are. Like, I assume that you also are in a first world country, and then, this is, I think, just reason enough to be happy, even though I do also understand there are so many people that actually do not have it easy. They have just a really bad life, even though they're living in a first world country. It is fucked up. It totally is. But, it's just way better than living in a country where chances of actually getting out of this fucking shit are actually not that high, or at least not as high as in, all the kind of, more developed countries. Metformin disrupts liver's ability to make glucose and downregulates signaling associated with cancer proliferation. May mimic calorie restriction and fasting. Rats with metastatic cancer show 40 to 50 higher survival rates when dosed with metformin. It's metformin. Well, I do just have to look that up, because I actually do not have any fucking clue what metformin is. I assume that it is metformin. Yeah. Side effects. But I would really be grateful if I could show you. The only problem that I'm seeing here is that, what is this one? Oh, it's the other one. I should actually delete this one. Oh, was it there? Yeah, it was there actually. So there you have it. I'm gonna zoom in a little tiny bit. Yeah. So side effects of metformin. So metformin seems to be a drug, and I guess it is still something that is not quite just known. I think a lot of people do not know a lot about it. So I guess there is just limited use of it, I would say. But yeah, so the side effects of metformin include physical weakness, asthenia, diarrhea, gas. Well, I guess gas in terms of actually you just farting all the time, I guess. Symptoms of weakness, muscle pain, upper respiratory tract infection, low blood sugar, abdominal pain, low blood levels of vitamin B12. So actually there are a lot of things that can happen. Yeah. So metformin, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you can see this. It's here on the right side. I hope you can read this. So metformin, marketed under the trade name glucophage, among others, is the first line medication for the treatment of type 2 diabetes, particularly in people who are overweight. It is also used in the treatment of polycystic ovary syndrome. It is not associated with weight gain. It is taken by mouth. Well, yeah. The half-life is 4 to 8.7 hours. Well, that's quite an accurate half-time. But yeah. Yeah, seems to not be that good. Actually, seems really not to be that good. Actually get into reading mode again. It might be actually way too big, but I don't know. It might be really big. Let's make it a little smaller, but I really don't want to make it as small as here, but I guess I'm never going to be able to do that. So yeah, let's do it like this. Then also I'm a little bit bigger. If this is important or not, is just, debatable. Let's see. Hyperventilation and strength. Do push-ups a few reps short of failure, record the number. So just do as many push-ups as you can. Rest 30 minutes and then do 40 reps of max inhale and then max exhale. You should start tingling. Yeah, you should actually breathe as deeply in as you possibly can 40 times. And then the funny thing that's going to happen, which is actually from Wim Hof, who is actually also named there just by Hugs, under the Hugs section. And then if you've been exhaling and inhaling for 40 times, then do the push-up thing again and then see how good you're performing. Because the funny thing is, you will perform better. Even though you have been doing just some push-ups 30 minutes ago or something, you're still going to be able to do more push-ups. Why it is the case? At least, or as far as I know, the reason is the whole oxygen that is in your body or is in your muscles is letting you be able to just do more push-ups, and that's it. The thing there is that I'm that I really have to point out is that you should be courteous. Yeah, you should just keep an eye on not doing it in any place where it could just be dangerous, because you might just break down, you might just you might just break down because there's so much oxygen in your body and whatsoever. Just do it in a safe environment. This is actually also what Wim Hof is always saying, that nobody should do it in an environment that is not safe. So yeah, but it is really a great technique and it is really a great thing to see, especially because it's only breathing, and breathing is something that, at least in my point of view, I would say isn't, well, a lot of people know a lot about it, I would say, but you do just, I think, have to make your own experiences. But only through breathing there's a lot of things possible. Also there is a certain breathing technique that I don't remember right now, but it is actually there to replace LSD for treatment. Because I think not only Alzheimer's, I think, is treated with LSD, but also other just, illnesses and other things. But the problem there was, I think, back in the day, so it was just a really old technique. Nowadays we just use LSD because I guess it's just easier. and it's more affordable, I guess. I think this was the reason, or I actually don't know. So I guess the reason was that it was just really just expensive. And yeah, they just developed this certain breathing technique so that you actually can get the same effects of LSD. Not as strong and maybe actually not as convenient as with just taking it's not a pill, I just say the pill, or LSD. But yeah, actually a lot of people use LSD to understand the world a little bit better, or to understand themselves a little bit better. Also, Steve Jobs, for example, he said that taking LSD was one of his just one of the most important experiences he had made, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Wim Hof and hugs. So Wim Hof hugs with his left arm over the person's shoulder, which is distinctive and meant to be a heart-to-heart. What the fucking hell? So Wim Hof hugs with his left arm over the person's shoulder. I assume just a heart-to-heart hug. Exercising in a more fun way. There are much more fun ways of moving your body than treadmills. Yeah, actually running outside maybe. Blood tests. LPA particle is most atherogenic particle, and 10% of people's inherent elevated levels. Most common risk for hereditary atherosclerosis, whatever it actually is. Oral glucose tolerance test. Hyperinsulinemia predicts metabolic problems. HbA1c measures your overall insulin production. Magnesium can drop to this value. Lithium, which is actually something that you can find in certain vitamin pills, actually, or vitamin supplements. It was something different. It was something different. I'm sorry. Lithium, small doses seem to decrease suicide rates and improve mood and brain health. Goda Cola Cream, so it's GOTU, GOTU, Cola with K, cream for loose skin or stretch marks. Stretching, finish static stretching with a voluntary contraction to lower injury. Activate muscle tension or tendons to increase strength. To activate hamstrings, rub back of leg right above knee and below butt for 8 to 10 seconds. So to activate your hamstrings, is it hamstrings? I thought it was something different. I think it sounded somehow differently, not hamstrings. Hamstrings. Never mind. So rub the back of your leg right above your knee and below your butt. Nothing happens. Improve endurance with breathing. Decide beforehand that you are going to rest from one set to another for a certain number of breaths. This will slow breathing. Psychedelics. Tim Ferriss says he removed decades-old anger and resentment after 48 hours of psychedelic experiences. That's amazing, and as I've said, there are actually a lot of people who use LSD and other psychedelics to just treat them, because it is actually one of the things. It is actually pretty sad that in a lot of countries, also in mine, a lot of drugs that could actually be very valuable to people, just you cannot use them. What is it called? Well, I don't know. You are restricted from actually using them because of certain kind of fucked up laws. They're also the same thing with cannabis. I guess cannabis could also just really help certain people, for example, with cancer and whatsoever, even though, of course, it isn't that researched, I think, especially in terms of all the drugs and whatsoever, it would just be great if, somebody would do just some really great research, maybe also official and governmental, so that also a lot of governments just see, okay, you can also just use drugs to treat people and not also just to get a trip from them. Psychedelic experiences are thought to be authentic expressions of your psyche, not artificial products. In a trial at a large company, Jim Fardiman told people to come in with problems they had been struggling with for months. After a few hours on psychedelics, they were told to work on the problems. 44 of 48 problems had some sort of solution. Amazing. Microdoses of LSD or psilocybin may help people with depression feel better enough that they do something about what's wrong. The most profound positive effects from transcendental experiences, or the feeling that you are connected to other things and living systems, this causes a realization that your ego is not a big part of you. After an experience, the feeling is, I was back in the prison of all the things that hold me back, but I could see the door was locked from the inside. Amazing. Great sitters don't have an agenda and don't want you to see a certain thing. Great sitters. What are sitters? Is it babysitters and sitters? A person who sits, especially for a portrait or examination. A person who looks after children. Okay. If you try it and get the answer, you should hang up the phone. Do homework after the experience and make changes before relying on medicine again. Avoid deconstructive ideas during the experience. If it's true today, it still be true tomorrow. After a psychedelic experience, you're more suggestible and you develop habits, bad or good. Useful to have a period of reflection on integration afterward. On reflection and integration afterward. Ellen note, this may be because drugs open up new synaptic connections and reflection cements them. Ibogaine seems to affect almost every neurotransmitter class, including opioid, NMDA, serotonin, sigma, nicotinic, and receptors. A little scientific there, I'm really sorry because I don't actually understand anything. But yeah, we are nearly finishing the whole thing, which is good. Talking today is a little bit difficult, to be honest. I don't know why, but it's just a little difficult. It might be the reason, or a reason might be that that I haven't been exposing myself to a lot of English today, which is actually often the problem. The funny thing is when I'm in school and then when I'm coming home and doing something, or when I'm recording, then I do not have any problems. No problem shows up. But when I'm at home, when I do just have my holidays, and I'm just doing something the whole day long with my family or something, then I show a lot of problems. Somehow, I don't really know why. Flotation tanks. Tim Ferriss reports that 2 weeks of twice a week floating feels like a month of daily meditation or meditating. Mobility, squat all the way to the ground with feet and knees together, proves full hip and ankle range of motion. Yeah, actually an exercise that I've seen before, but it works. I'm, I think, able to do it. So yeah, maybe you should try it out as well. Wear zero drop shoes. Where toes and heel are equal distance from ground, like Vans. This avoids shortening Achilles tendon. Is it what I mean? I think it is what I mean. Yeah, I've never thought that it is the tendon, so I didn't know that it just is called tendon. Vans or Chuck Taylors are common. Avoiding jet lag exercise for 5 to 10 minutes seems to reset your clock. Tetris as emotional therapy. Games like Tetris or Bejeweled occupy visual center. This limits endless cycling over whatever you're obsessing about. Helps with PTSD, addiction, and insomnia. Or insomnia, or however it is actually pronounced. Chili pad for sleeping circulates water underneath your normal sheets. Beverages for falling asleep. Honey plus apple cider vinegar. Yogi's soothing caramel bedtime tea. Mindfulness. Meditating won't dull your edge. It helps you focus on a few things that matter rather than every opportunity that pops up. It practices recovering from distraction. The reward for meditation is getting 30 to 50% more done in a day with 50% less stress. Practice getting just one mindful breath a day. And this mindful breath you're gonna take right now. With me. Just let's do it. No, just joking. It feels pretty great, to be honest. It really feels great, and I hope that I've not just blown into the fucking microphone, because I know that it is really fucking loud. But it is just really something incredibly great, I guess. Or just, in my point of view. It's just something great if you do just take one mindful breath that you're completely feeling. You're just feeling how the air flows into you, and you're also feeling how the air flows out of you, and you just, kind of recognize the cold air, the warm air, whatever it is. Just, notice the smell of it and whatsoever. It's just pretty great. It really is great. It really sets you in the present, I would say, because, sometimes I'm feeling as well, just in the future or a little bit too much in the past. And then when I'm just taking one mindful breath, or when I'm meditating, or when I'm just doing something, then, or just even by accident, I get just back into the present, which is great. Acarbose lowers blood glucose levels when taken with food, also an anti-diabetic drug. Cold exposure, Tony Robbins primes himself with a cold water plunge to prime himself for the day. There's actually a video of him doing this where he's on his island in Hawaii, I guess it is, or Fiji. Either one of those, but there's actually a video with, I think it was Business Insider. It's just a really great video. Maybe you just look it up on YouTube right here. If you're on the YouTube video, on the podcast, maybe you just jump into it. It actually is pretty interesting how he's living, what he's doing, how he's exercising, and all these things. Really interesting. Rick Rubin alternates between sauna and ice bath. By the end of the 4th or 5th round of being in an ice tub, there is nothing in the world that bothers you. Pros use acid in cooking. Acid makes everything taste better. It is actually the truth. This is also one of the reasons why wines seem to work pretty good in quite a lot of foods, because they are acidic, but you could also use vinegar. Something that I've learned from, I think he's called Adam Raguseo. He's just really making so incredibly great videos. Cooking videos on YouTube. Maybe you check them out. They're really great. So his last name definitely is Raguseo. I think it's R-A-G or G-U-Z-E-O. I just look it up, I guess. Or Ragusia. He's called Adam Ragusea. I'm able to show you, which is great. He's just making incredibly good videos. And also his voice is amazing, to be honest. His voice is really fucking amazing. No, it's the wrong one. But yeah, Adam Ragusea. It's just really incredible videos. You can see that I've just watched a few of them. But they're just incredibly great. Not only are they just produced pretty well, but his voice is amazing. His character, he himself is just really fucking amazing. It's just nice, to have certain people like this going around producing pretty great content. And I really hope that I'm just, producing great content as well. But I wish you the best health, wealth, happiness, and success. And I hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you're going to be remembered, which means your legacy, because it is totally in your control. But still, something that I always want to point out is that we can't serve everyone. Not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to love you. A lot of people will hate you just because. But it's just what it is. I think you can be the best person on the fucking planet, and still there are going to be just some people who do not like you. Just what it is. Well, with that being said, thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you the next time. I love you. Really have to thank you for listening and watching. I see you.